Welcome to month 2 of my crafting quest. This is the compilation of all of the shorts for the month. There was a little break in the middle there where I was shifting from a editing and recording same day to editing all the things all on one day. So it's a little shorter than last month's video, but I had a lot of fun. There was the Ren Faire at the beginning of the month, and now I've been doing a lot of miscellaneous crafts again, and I got to 500 subscribers, which is so wild to me. Thank you all so much. And if you want to see all of the shorts in one place, you are at the right video. Guys, quick update before I get back to feathers. I landed a job! It's like my dream job too. I'm so excited. The crafting quest will change. It will still continue, but I don't think it'll be daily once I start working. So I'll keep you posted, but I'm happy. I'm enjoying this crafting adventure, so I will keep posting, but the crafting quest has been a success. Let's get back to feathers. Feathers! It is time to airbrush. Some of these are too long to fit inside my craft tent, so we have come outside. Let's get to it. Today is going to be mostly airbrushing. I have a lot of feathers to decorate with 3 different colors of brown to hopefully make them look pretty realistic. It did not take me long before standing and leaning over this short table got a little too annoying, so I found a chair and then I continued. Let's go turbo mode and see how much we can get done. Finally made it to the second color, and this is where they finally start looking a little more realistic. I can't wait to see these completely done, but alas, I was losing daylight and I will have to come back to this tomorrow. So when I came inside, I intended to work on the sleeve part of my wings, but I lay down on my bed to charge my phone for a few minutes. It has now been over an hour. I'm not gonna do any more crafting tonight, so I will see y'all tomorrow. Welcome to another day of me working on my Ren Faire costume. Today I am hoping to get all of the feathers done. I first have to go reprime some of these because I messed up this whole stack. There's not supposed to be brown on one side of these. Spray painting is much faster than airbrushing, which is why I chose this route. I've been blessed. I found a frog. And then it is on to airbrushing the brown forever. I did this for a very, very long time today, but it's coming along. And we are out of paint. I guess I'm making another trip to Ben Franklin today. This is mine. Okay, we are back with more paint. I got 2 more browns just in case, a new white because that one's really old, and a color for the tail feathers that I realize I should have cut at the same time as these, but it's a different day's problem. This took me way longer than I expected it to today, partially because of some user error with the airbrush, but it's getting there. All of the brown is done. All I have left to do is the white, but it is getting dark, so let's see if I can. Found a white, put on a sweatshirt, and we begin the white. All right, now that I put 2 coats of white on all of the brown feathers, I think I'm actually done. I like these. I have more white to add to all the other feathers, but I have to airbrush fur tomorrow, so I think I'm gonna do that then. I am cold, I'm gonna go back inside, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Wow. Good morning and welcome back to the crafting quest. We are back inside because we're putting together my wings. I am so excited, let's get into it. First step in the process is cutting the denim for the base pieces. Gave their edges a quick serge, and then it was back to the table, where it was time for fur. Fun fact about fur, it rips straight, and you also always want to cut it from the back with a knife so you don't cut through the hair. Then it was time to recruit a mother to mark places on my arm for straps, added a snap for the one at my wrist, took a quick interlude at the farm, and then it was back to the sewing machine. I'm hoping with all these stitches it's nice and sturdy and nothing pulls out. And then it was time to lay the feathers out. I marked where each one went with a pen and then took it back to the sewing machine. Go slow and steady when you're sewing around wire, but I managed to only break 1 needle. Ended up being a little sad and floppy, so I have 2 solutions. One is boning. Second is hot glue, the answer to every cosplay problem. This was also my solution for how to put the little feathers on, because I hadn't thought of anything better. And then finally the final dabs of glue on the back. And we have a wing. This is so cool. I am so excited. There's a lot I still need to do. like the whole other wing, but it's midnight. So we're gonna go edit this and go to bed. I'll see y'all tomorrow. We have some wings to finish today. I promise they will be done at the end of this video. I already did the second one to the same point I got this one. So now I just have to add the fur covering and do some more airbrushing. Let's get into it. First thing I have to do today is cut some more fur because I didn't think about the fact that my arm is a three-dimensional object and I did not cut a wide enough piece for the front. This actually worked out in my favor because the bird I'm basing this off of has a brown stripe at the top of the front of the wing. So that's what we're doing here. And it is time to attach it to the wing, only to realize that I sewed it on the wrong side. So rip it out, literally, and then sew it on again. And then the final step in construction, the ever-important hot glue. Also has some Velcro on the front so my hand can escape. Then it is outside to airbrushing. Kind of impressed with how well the seams get hidden when you brush the fur. I know it's 100% user error, but I cannot for the life of me keep the airbrush from clogging. I waste so much time unclogging and cleaning the airbrush, but it turns out so cool in the end, so it's worth it. Did the bodysuit today too while I was outside. What? We have wings. They are done. I'm so excited to wear these at the Ren Faire in 4 days. So let's get to the rest of the costume making tomorrow. I hope to see y'all there. Okay, friends, are you ready for a marathon of crafting? It is my last free day before I start at my new job tomorrow, and I still have a long list of things to get done for my Ren Faire costume that I'm wearing this weekend. Let's see how much I can get done. First things first is I got my graduation present up and running, and I'm using it to cut feathers for trinket trading and also the beak for my costume. I'm staining the beak dark brown and then I'll paint on yellow and white, and then I'm turning this little trinket strap blue while I'm here. Back up at the computer. First I made a tail mock-up doing the same thing I did with my wings and tracing feathers on a reference picture. Then I moved to a paper mock-up and I think it's gonna work. Also while at my computer I prepared an embroidery file for my friend's trinkets, and then my sewing machine is transformed. This ended up running the rest of the day. And then I'm finally getting to the fabric that I cut the pattern for forever ago. Once I get this all cut out, it is to the serger. You might say, well, Joe, your sewing machine's in use, and how are you gonna do the finishing steps? Well, my mom's sewing machine's not in use, and like magic, it appears. And here is everything I have for this costume put together. I'm super excited. I got the skirt done, which was the whole inspiration for the costume, so glad that's done. But it looks complete. It's not, but if I showed up to the Ren Faire like this, I think I would be happy, which makes me way less stressed over the next 3 days as I start a new job. I don't know how much more I will get done, but I'll still be posting videos, so I'll see y'all tomorrow. That was a long day. Started at my new job. It's great. I'm gonna love it. But I also had dance today. So it's real late and my goal is to just sew this together tonight. I did a couple other little things like washing the feathers that are going to be my trinkets. And also finishing the clovers that are my friend's trinkets. So, trinkets and beak, that is today. I'll show you when I'm done. And we have a beak. I have no idea how I'm going to attach this to my face without my glasses on, but I have 2 days to figure that out, so I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right, friends, this is where my costume currently is, and the Ren Faire starts tomorrow, so I have one more evening to get everything else I want to done. Unfortunately, I can't do the tail because I lost a piece of my airbrush in the grass. The part comes tomorrow, so maybe I can do the tail. I'm not confident in that, but we're gonna work on everything else tonight. Let's get to it. Down in the craft tent, I lasered some more feathers. I made a little trinket strap, and then we started adding straps to my beak. I painted my beak, and then I chaotically made a whole nother pouch that was not an intention, but it looks really cool. And then I finally went upstairs and I speed sewed a little tube top thing. And then I just cut some strips of fabric. Look at all the little bits I got added. Pops of color really bring a thing together. When in doubt, wrap yourself in strips of fabric. It's great. There's a couple more things I'm hoping to get done tomorrow. I do think I am going to abandon the tail even if my airbrush part shows up, because I think that'll just stress me out too much. I have one little brooch shirt thing that I'd like to do, and then I would say this is done. So, wish me luck getting ready for the Ren Faire tomorrow, and I will bring you all along for the weekend, so I hope you stay tuned. Good morning, y'all. It is officially Ren Faire day 1, which is basically just setting up camp and then there's a party in the evening. But we are packing my car, I'm doing one last craft thing, and then I'm working from home until my boyfriend gets home and we leave. So come along for the ride. Is anyone else's car typically filled with an obnoxious amount of reusable bags? It's always the most tedious part of the weekend, but it's so much fun to camp, so it's worth it. And then it was upstairs to crafting. I had 2 things to sew. One is this interesting little bodice drapey necklace situation. I don't know what to call it, but it uses a little bit more of that cool black fabric with the red embroidery on it, so that's awesome. And then I put together some actual leg wraps that are laced instead of just wrapping fabric on my legs, because this was kind of more what I had originally intended. So I had a little time, decided to do that one too. To finish these up, I added a cute little owl to the necklace thing, and then added eyelets and lacing for both of the boot wraps. I'm pretty happy I had time to get these 2 last things done. And we got the last 2 bits added on. It is ready to go. I'm so excited. We are going to head out soon, so I'm gonna leave y'all here today. Tomorrow, I'll do like a little camp tour plus the fair, and of course the final reveal with it on me. So I hope to see you all there. Good morning, y'all. Welcome to the Ren Faire. Come get ready with me and then I'll finally show you the reveal of my costume all on. I'm so excited I got as much of this done as I did, and everybody's support online has been absolutely phenomenal. So thank you everyone who is following along and has been enjoying what I have been putting out there. So thank you. I hope you all enjoy this reveal as much as I did. I will need some slight assistance with this one. All right, it's time for the wings and the final reveal. And here it is complete. Exciting news, I won the costume contest last night. Do you think I deserved it? I'm pretty happy. And now let's get into the fair. Join me tomorrow for a more in-depth look at the fair itself. I'll post some clips and then maybe a little thoughts on my costume at the very end, but I know I'm gonna be tired, so it might just be a Ren Faire tour. But I still hope you join me. And I'll leave you with this wonderful bird that of course I had to hold. See y'all tomorrow. Welcome to the town of Merriwick, where you can shop, play, and feast to your heart's content. Around every corner, minstrels fill the air with music, daring feats are performed, and curious wanderers greet you at every turn. The market lines the main road with merchants from far-off realms selling an array of fine garb, glittering baubles, and mysterious treasure. You can follow the scent of roasting meats to an impressive array of food options. The meat pies are the best. Then, once sated, you can brave the contraptions of the village engineers and take a ride in the sky. Challenge your friends to feats of strength or go to the training field to learn a new skill, which is where you'll find me. And as you can see here, I'm not wearing my Rito costume again today because it's far too hot. And that brings me to thoughts on my costume, because I loved it, but there's a few things that I want to make known. So if any of you attempt to do the similar thing to what I did, you don't make the same mistakes as me. The first is these are warm as hell. I thankfully figured out a way I could dangle them off of my harness for my chest piece, and they would just be under my arm. I could grab them, I can play with them, but I wasn't dying in them. Issue with this is it bent my chest piece. So I really need to make a dedicated harness for these that allows it to be either on my arms or dangling. And in that note also, when you figure out a way to dangle them, make sure you can't step on them. A feather was wounded. And on a very similar note, seal your paint because the foam gets a little sad when it rubs against the ground. There's some touch-up painting that I need to do. There's not really much else that I would genuinely change about this costume. I absolutely loved how it looked, and people loved how it looked. I got a lot of love for it, and that made me extremely happy. And I still have a few more pieces to add to this. Maybe I'll do it before Halloween. I don't know. But that brings me into my next piece of news. I am going to take a break for a week of posting videos. I will still be recording things, but I cannot maintain editing same day as recording because that's me editing every single night, and it just wasn't working with my sleep schedule. And now that I have a job, I really need to do a different editing schedule. So I'm gonna, in a week, start posting daily again, but it's gonna be a week behind. I'm gonna edit everything on one day, and hopefully that works a little bit better for my schedule and ability to take breaks. So I hope you all still come along, and I thank you everyone for following along on this journey, and I will see you all next week. Hello friends, and welcome back. It has been a week for you, but it's only been a day for me. This is how this is gonna go from now on as I shove all of my editing into one day. So I am happy to have you all back, and I hope you guys enjoy a little bit different content. The Ren Faire is now over, and I need a break from large involved projects and have some commissions I need to do. If anyone isn't aware, I have an Etsy, and on that Etsy I do custom quilt block designs using foundation paper piecing. So tonight I need to get one of those ready and sent off to my customer, so come along with me and see how I do them. First up is I use a program called Quilt Assistant. It is a free program, and if anybody actually wants to learn how to do these themselves, it's a great place to start. You can also make these in a paid-for program called eQuilt, which I do actually also have, but I prefer this free one, so that's cool. The premise of this program is that you've imported an image and then you sketch in all of the lines where you would want different pieces of fabric to create the final image. This creates a kind of abstract but sewable version of your image, and I really love the look of them, so I will keep making them. I got this to a draft and sent it off to my customer. Hopefully tomorrow I will have the go-ahead to do all of the editing and final touches. See you then. Hello! Another long day of work is over, and I've been given the go-ahead for the design I was doing yesterday, so now it is time to edit and do all of the finishing steps to get the documents to my customer. So come along with me and see what it takes. This is where we left the design yesterday. It had been colored in, but nothing else, and today I have to go in and letter all of the larger paper piecing chunks. This won't make sense if you don't know how to paper piece. I do have a tutorial on my channel if you want to learn a bit more about how this process works. This is both the most time-consuming part of the design process and the one that you need a bit of experience to know how to do correctly, because you need to make sure that the whole design is sewable. I write out the sewing order for my customers as kind of a math problem. Then once that is done, it is time to export all of the other documents that are needed for a successful pattern. My patterns include all of the documents that are here. I check every document as I export them to make sure there's no weird little errors that I missed while I was designing, but in the end I had a completed set for this pattern and I sent it off to my customer. I'm done crafting for the day, so I'll see y'all tomorrow.
5 a.m.s are so hard. I've been awake so long today and yesterday, and will be again tomorrow. I haven't figured out my sleep schedule yet. So we're gonna chill. And my craft of the day is the quilt.
I have 4 hexagons left that are prepared, so my goal is to get these 4 added to the quilt. I haven't mentioned before while I've been working on this that I'm not doing this in the traditional manner. It's not supposed to be whip stitched, but I like the whip stitch. I think it's faster than a straight stitch, so that's what I've been doing this whole time. I think I saw it in a tutorial somewhere. Also, most people will make like a flower instead of doing it row by row. But I'm doing it this way because I am reusing the hexagon templates and I don't have a ton to leave in the amount of flowers it would take to make the whole king size quilt. It also was a lot easier for me to coordinate the ombre pattern that I'm going for, so that's what I'm doing. I always say, do the thing that works for you. It's great. And I got all 4 added on, even though I am quite tired. I was determined to get it done, and I did the thing. So, the next time that I pull this out, I will bring y'all along to show you how I prep the next set of hexagons using these little plastic templates and how I keep track of the pattern. See y'all tomorrow.
Hello friends and welcome back to Kukubo Crafts. I'm not gonna lie, it's not Thursday for me because Thursday I was out of the house from 5 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and crafting did not happen. But I am doing multiple things Sunday, so here is your craft of the day. We are making more headbands because I have a bajillion of these still to make.
As a reminder of what I'm doing here, I make these headbands and they are up on my Etsy. If anyone thinks that they are cool, they're the ones that I'm wearing in nearly all of my videos because I love them. Currently only have 9 varieties up, but I have 42 different fabrics, so I need to make more that I can take sample photos of. The funny part is I noticed that one of my threads was off before I realized I sewed that last band completely backwards. So we fixed the thread and then I removed the stitches and I re-sewed that one. Tired brains are hazardous. I also recently figured out how to make a removable bow attachment for them, which I am absolutely adoring. And this polka dot one it needed a bow. So that one's gonna have a bow. All the other ones can also have bows, but that was the one I decided on today. The gold fabric also did not like the machine and I had to rethread it again. I don't know what it was about today and me having to rethread things. It's been a struggle.
Okay, I'm getting pulled away to other things, but I got a few new ones done and I think this is my new favorite. I'm gonna wear this headband all the time. I'll see y'all tomorrow. First full week at my new job is completed. I am quite tired, but I am still very excited about it. I took a nice relaxing bath this evening and now I'm gonna go reward myself with some ice cream. But first, we must make the topping.
To the backyard where we're collecting our first ingredient, blueberries. There's not a ton left out here, but I wanted to collect them since they are just about done for the season. Also, these pink ones are still blueberries. They're called pink lemonade blueberries. They are very good. Had to supplement with frozen blueberries though, because there was not enough outside. Our second magical ingredient is lavender. It is my favorite flavor, and with blueberries, ooh, it's divine. I highly recommend. And without further ado, I am making jam. It is more of a saucy jam than a spreadable one, but it is very delicious. I have linked the recipe. Just be careful. Don't be like me and drop the sugar bowl into the pot. It's fine. We adapt and continue. Really enjoy making jam, but don't do it super often, but I decided with the last of the year's blueberries to make my favorite topping, and after filling 4 jars, I have just enough left in the pot to pour over some ice cream. Doesn't that look good?
That is great. Perfect way to end the week. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Happy Saturday. Come with me as we go to a local used fabric sale.
This is an event put on by the Clothing and Textile Advisors of Snohomish County, and as you can tell, it is extremely popular. I've been going to it for a few years now, and this is the busiest I've ever seen it. It's also in a new location, but they have all kinds of things, like fabric and yarn, notions, buttons, patterns. Like, you could find pretty much everything you can need for any kind of sewing related project. And Snohomish County is not the only one that does it. I know some other branches of this do it in other parts of Washington state. And I would guess similar organizations across the country also have similar events that go to some kind of charity. This one goes to fund the classes that the clothing and textile advisors do. So I love supporting them. You also really can't beat the prices. I get so much of my stuff here. Now for the final reveal of my haul, this is everything I got at the sale, and it was all for about 50 bucks. Favorite things that I picked up is this fish needlepoint, and I do not know how to needlepoint, so I'm going to learn how to do that one. And then this panel with these cute little vintage storefronts. A quilt will be made with this in the future, I'm sure. So with that, I'll see you all tomorrow. Life is so much better with crafty friends. Today, one of mine taught us how to make cutting boards from scrap he rescued from the trash at work. He is a professional carpenter, and it was so much fun picking his brain and learning a new skill. I had no idea that you could make a full cutting board in just a few hours simply with some scrap wood, a saw, glue, and something to sand with. Always thought that glue took longer to dry than that, but it was only about 45 minutes and we hung out, had a nice charcuterie board, and just chatted while waiting. It was a great evening. Then I was outside to fix the ends of our boards. I had one friend that put a really cool curve into hers, and then we sanded for a minute. I was told that sanding is even the pros' least favorite part. But, oh, it is so smooth and pretty at the end. So the time it takes is totally worth it. Then we did grab the router, though this is completely optional. We just wanted to play with it. Last step was covering them in olive oil to really make the wood pop, seal them in, and make them food safe. I am so excited for how these all turned out. It was such a fun evening. Everybody needs to go make crafty friends and learn a new skill. It's my turn next, and I'm gonna teach everybody how to make dice in a few weeks, so come along for that, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. No freaking way.
Welcome to a Miniature Monday. I couldn't resist these while we were at Target, so let's see what's inside.
Let's start with the book orb because it's a little less involved than the Make It Mini. First, we have uncovered a Wuthering Heights, so cute. And then the next one is a very suspicious golden wrapped book, interesting. And finally, there's a cute little candlestick instead of a bookshelf and a Prince and the Pauper. Now, let's take a look. Looks like two of them are commons, and our suspicious book does it. Holy crap, I actually got one of the luxury ones. That's never happened to me before. Cool beans. Let's go put them on the shelf. Now for my dinosaur miniverse. I do know the pinhole trick, but this one I grabbed at random because it's my first one and I like to do that. So let's see what we have inside. Was looking forward to doing a little kit that didn't involve resin today so I could do it in my room, and it looks pretty simple. You add a little glitter, you add a magic juice to your dino, and you just shake it up. It's very glittery. I'm gonna let that settle while I look at the cheat sheet, and I think I got the Indoraptor. Pretty sure it's that one. Look, it's so cute. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
I just finished a long day of work, and now I have to go do Etsy things because for some reason my custom quilt pattern I have up there is doing really well right now. It doesn't normally, so I don't exactly know why this happened the same week I started a new job. I think I'm gonna have to put a pause on that because I can't keep up with that and how early I have to wake up currently. Commutes, they kind of suck, but we're gonna do this today. Come join me for more quilt designing.
I got two that I need to get through tonight. First, we have this lovely puppy, and it's always a little complicated to do real life things. It always ends up having a ton of pieces to get all of the details so it's recognizable, and also this one has a lot of colors in their fur, so also a little bit of a challenge on this one, but I think they're gonna like it. We'll find out tomorrow probably.
And then I have a second one to do, which is a winged shoe. A lot less colors to deal with on this one, but there is still a lot of curves, which means quite a few pieces. I really like designing these, but making them, very impressed with people that want to take the time to make this complicated of patterns. I've done them before, but I much prefer the design side than the making side. And that is where I'll end today, and I'll see everyone tomorrow. Join me this evening for some embroidery. I have the fanciest version of hatch embroidery, and I can put any image I want in it and very easily convert it into a embroidery file. In this case, it's this logo here. I did have to manually draw out one piece because the auto digitalizing added extra bits that I didn't want to sew out, but that's super easy. We fiddle around with like what kind of stitch we want to do, and then we just export it and it goes to the machine. Simple as that. And then this part is pretty great too. I just press go and then I watch it. It's like my 3D printers. I really like doing computer design and then being able to just press go on something. For me, it's a lot more likely for a project to actually get done in this fashion if I am able to just let a machine do it. I know it's not as cool or even as skilled as doing something fully by hand, but I never finish things that I do by hand because they take too long and I get bored. I get to have fun being creative on the computer, and I get to see the final product in a pretty quick amount of time. This only took about 20 minutes to stitch out, and now there is a logo on the backpack for a friend of mine. Gonna be up front right now. I did not center it very well, but I think my friend's gonna like it. I'm not getting paid for it, so it's fine. And with that, I will see you all tomorrow. It's Friday movie night, and I convinced my parents to watch K-pop Demon Hunters. I've already seen it and absolutely adore it and the music. So I'm going to be cross-stitching my little Pusheen, and maybe it'll dance along with the music. I don't know. We'll find out. Let's see how far I get.
You can make hearts out of thin air.
And in one wonderful movie, I took the Pusheen from this to this. My parents don't know how they feel about the movie, but I got more work done on the Pusheen, so I'm happy. I'll see y'all tomorrow. It's D&D night. I got my dice on the table and yarn in my hand. Let's see what kind of progress I can make on today's adventure. I'm working on this Amigurumi goat. It's adorable. I already have all 4 legs done, so I'm moving on to the body. I also already got this started, but I realized very quickly on the last time I was working on this, I was doing it completely wrong. So time to unravel. And then a few attempts of me trying to remember how to do a magic ring because I wasn't working the first few times I did it. It's fine. I got it going eventually. Now, the mistake I had realized I had made was that I was doing a joined round instead of a continuous round. So, a joined round has a seam that runs down it. All 4 legs I did that way, and I'm just gonna go with it because it doesn't look that bad. But I learned kind of recently that amigurumi is almost always done in the spiral, so there's no seam. The woobles helped me realize that. I just ignored the fact that these directions did not say to do a joined round, so I was doing it because that's my habit. Good news is I wasn't very far into this design at this point, so it's all going to be correct from now on. Look how much I got done during our session today. Pretty happy with it, and I will see you all tomorrow. There you have it, all of the shorts for the month of August. Thank you all for making it this far in the video. Please like, comment, do the things that the algorithm likes. I would greatly appreciate it. You all are fantastic, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next month.